Howdy y'all, and welcome back to another Rust investing video. Sorry that it's been a while. I've been really busy lately, and I'll have a full explanation video coming soon on that. But just for now, let's just hop right into this week's top investments. Okay, so before we start, I just want to say that I do have a Discord, and make sure y'all joining that, because through this time, even though I may not have been posting videos, I've still been posting my top picks for the week and participating in discussion with y'all. So whenever I take breaks like that, I'll let you know through the Discord, and I didn't really let y'all know about this, but I'll let y'all know through the Discord coming up. And as well, just make sure to join the Discord to get the latest news and participate in a bunch of friendly discussion regarding investing. And I just want to shout it out that it is there, so make sure you join it, and the link will be in the description below. Okay, sorry about that, but back now, so make sure you join the Discord, just reminding you again. But anyways, this week's investments, it actually doesn't look too bad, and I've been a bit out of the loop, but I've still been following the market and know what's going on. And the cloud stuff, or the doodle set did pop off, and I made quite a bit from that, so hopefully y'all made from that. And I know that's a while back, but there is still more coming out from the creator, supposedly, so just keep an eye on that doodle set. I really do think it still continue to reap profits onto this day. But now the items that we have now are actually looking pretty good. Like, the doors look really good, the raid bot stuff even looks good, the emerald relics look good, the cloud shot looks good, and even the caution stuff looks really good. So in my mind, I think this week is going to be a great week for investing, and I really do think that it's going to be really good overall. But now let's get into my top 3 picks and why I think they are really going to make good investments. Okay, so my top pick for this week is going to be the Old Fighter's door. I really do think this is one of the most detailed sheet metal doors that I have ever seen be released on the Steam community market. It is so detailed, and it looks really good. Like, it's not just detailed, it's really good looking too. Like, it seems to be as there's like an eagle holding a rocket in its hands with a serpent below it, which I do think looks really cool in my mind. And just the theme about that, like almost like the heaven good from the eagle and like the devil serpent like fighting each other, I do think that's really cool. And it has a golden outline on it as well, and I really do think that's also a really good feature of the door. And it just looks insanely good, like the gloss, I think what it's called, on the eagle, and the gloss on everything else, and the detail on both of the items are both insanely good. And I think it looks like insanely good not to look at when trying to invest in it. I do think this is going to be a great investment for making a profit on the Steam community market, and I really do think this is going to be a great investment. Like, I know I'm repeating myself, but this skin is honestly one of the best sheet metal doors I have ever seen. It is so detailed, and it looks like it has depth and everything. And highly detailed sheet metal doors, they tend to do extremely well in the Steam community market. Like, I've invested in a few I've invested in a few sheet metal doors, and they've done extremely well, and they were like really detailed and stuff. And not even discounting the other door, but this door is just immensely better, I think, than the other one that is out this week. And I really do think that this Old Fighter's door is going to make a great investment, given that highly detailed sheet metal doors tend to make really good investments. Okay, my second pick for this week is going to be the caution hoodie and the caution pants. Most preferably the pants. The pants tend to do much better overall when compared to the hoodie, but I really do think this caution set is really cool, and I do think more and more will be added onto it. Sets, like the initial release of a set, although I don't think this is the initial release of a set, I think there is more out there, I'm not entirely sure, but I do think that this initial release is going to be really good because it's yellow. It's a color that you don't see much of on other Rust item skins, so that's good, but that also detracts from the value of the item because it doesn't match well with other sets. But I really do think with like a desert camouflage set that this will do extremely well. And there are some items out there that will go well with this item skin, and I do think that it's going to make a good investment because of that. And I do think, I don't know the creator of this item, I'll have to check it, but I will definitely make sure to check it and let y'all know in the Discord so y'all know what's going on with the skin and if more is going to be released in the future or not. And that's a major thing to keep track of when investing in skins is the future profitability of the items. Like, if more and more of a set gets added, as we saw with the Doodle set, the value just goes up and up and up as the demand goes up. So basically, the supply once it gets off the Steam Rust item store remains constant, while demand can only go up. And the more of this theme that is released, demand only increases while supply goes down or stays the same. So pretty much Rust investments actually do end up all being profitable in the very long run. It's just a matter of time and also popularity and like how good it looks, because if it looks like complete trash, then it won't do very well. But I do think this is a good looking set. I do think that it looks really good in my mind, and I do think I'm going to buy quite a few of them to invest in, especially now that I made profit off the doodle stuff. And I do think more and more will be released, and that's why this is my second pick for this week. Okay, my third pick for this week is going to be the Cloudshot bow. There's been previously released Cloudshot items, so I do think more and more is going to be added to this set. The Cloudshot bow looks really good in my mind. I really like how vibrant it is and how uniquely themed it is, because there's not much other skins like this out there. And if you really want to, you can pair it with like pink sets and kind of go with the brony set as well, with just that little like sky theme, not the sky theme, but like the unicorn theme, and just like the bright themes that come along with those pink sets. And the Cloudshot crossbow, which was previously released, actually ended up doing fairly well as an investment. It's like $3.25 now, which I do think is because of the release of this, but I do think that more and more of the Cloudshot set is going to be released because this is a second item. At first, I thought the crossbow was just going to be a one-off thing, but now that there's a bow, I really do think more and more of this item of this theme is going to be released in the long run. So I do think that will make the Cloudshot bow be extremely profitable, especially with it only being not terribly expensive for an item skin and around the normal price of $2. Unlike the kilts and stuff that have actually gone up in price recently, as previously released kilts and armor has been around $1, but now it's approaching $2. Like especially with the golden dragon stuff that was previously released, that's really expensive. So it's good to see that the value of this or the initial release price of this item is not actually that high. But I do think this is going to make a good investment because the future looks really good for the Cloudshot theme, and that will contribute to the Cloudshot bow's profitability overall. Okay, so let's get away from my top 3 picks, and let's just jump into the other items. Let's start off with the Emerald Relic Hatchet. I do think that this isn't a bad investment at all. This is a really cool looking item skin, and it's kind of got like the Mayan theme to it, like Mayan end days and stuff, and it looks really good. Like the emerald and like the detail on the skin, it just looks really good in my mind, so I do think it will be profitable as an investment because of how good it looks. And although hatchets don't tend to do the greatest, and that's why it's not one of my top picks, the tools tend to drag behind and aren't really the greatest investments overall. But I do in fact think that this will make a good investment due to the sheer detail that is on this item skin. Okay, and then we also have the Emerald Relic Pickaxe, which I do think, in my mind, is immensely better than the hatchet, because the fact that the emerald is entirely on the pickaxe, and that is really there, it makes it look really cool. And I think I might even just buy this item for myself because of how cool that emerald like look on the pickaxe looks when in the shun. In the shun. Wow, I can't even speak. It's been that long since I've made a video. But in the sun, sorry. Sorry about that. But I do think it looks really good. Like extremely good actually for a pickaxe, and it's one of the best pickaxes that I've seen released since I've been making Rust item videos, so that just tells you that I do think that this is going to be a good investment overall. Okay, next we have the molten visage, I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it, but this looks really cool. This item skin I do think is a step below than the old other one, whatever the other item that was released this week. It is a step below, but this looks really cool. And if it glows in the dark like it kind of looks in this picture right here, I do think this is going to be an insane investment. There's not really any like photos that actually really show it in the dark, but I do think it has a lot of glowing features on it, which will make it really profitable. But it's expensive. It's $3 for an item door, so that kind of detracts me from wanting to invest in it because your margins of profit are smaller than it would be a normal item. But I do think this is a really cool looking item, and I do think that the glow is going to make it pay off as an investment like really well. So that's the reason why. And there's previously released items, and those crates, the molten visage crates, did extremely well and followed the exact theme of this door that is currently on there. So I do think this is going to make a good investment and not be a bad one. Actually, it's not a bad skin to invest in. I don't think there are actually any bad skins at all this week, but let me just get to the other skins. Okay, next we have the raid bot gear, and in my mind it's an okay looking set. It's not necessarily the best. If the kilt came out first, I would have definitely invested in that, because the kilts tend to do extremely well because they're one of the most universal pieces of armor that you use from different tiers within the Rust game. But this doesn't look entirely bad in my opinion. It's a really basic looking skin, and I think the face mask is much better looking overall than the chest piece, and I think the raid bot face mask will go a lot better with other item sets than the chest piece would. And I do think that there is definitely going to be more of this released because a kilt is going to have to be released. So that is very important to keep note of when investing in this item. But I just think that it looks very basic and kind of bland. And I don't really think it's going to make as much profit as other items would. But I do think that it is going to make a profit overall, because there is definitely more of this being released, and I could even see a clothing set going with this, and even weapons coming along with this. So I do think that is extremely important to keep note of, and could lead to the raid bot stuff being extremely profitable. Okay, so that about sums up what I think about this week's item skins. I do think that there isn't a single necessarily bad investment this week, but we're also going to have to take a look at what overinflation and oversaturation of the items within that are being bought. And I'm not sure if the doors are being oversaturated, and it's really hard to tell right now if anything is oversaturated. We'll tell like by the end of the week which one is the most saturated, but by then you should have already bought your items, because it's better to buy the items as soon as possible. But I do think the most bought item this week is probably going to be one of the doors or the hoodie and the work pants. But I do think that oversaturation is not going to be an entirely huge problem just yet on a lot of these items, but that is important to keep note of. But overall, this week has been one of the best weeks I've seen for investing. There's a wide variety of different things to invest in, and there's a lot of good looking skins this week. It's not all that common that we see good looking skins. Like, Helk has disappointed in the past, definitely disappointed in the past, but I do think that he's been making up for it recently, as there's been a lot of good skins that have been released, and this week being one of them. But anyways, thank you all for watching the video. I know I didn't do the workshop this week, I'm just hopping back into it, but sincerely thank you. I'm sorry for the pause of a video, like I said in the start of the video, explaining why I was gone, and like a channel update probably coming out this weekend or maybe Monday, or maybe early next week. We'll have to see what my time allows me to do. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will be back, and I will be consistently making videos again. So make sure y'all stay tuned and like the video and subscribe. Thank you. Sincerely, DroBlue.